Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of Danny's Corner. My name is Danny and I am a totally blind person, and I am making these videos to educate people on blindness. Remember that all this month is Blindness Awareness Month, and that means that we have professionals like doctors and other people that work with blind people to make them aware on like what they can do in terms of taking care of their eyesight, or how to prevent blindness if they're have like family history. um, Also how to do things if they are has have been diagnosed with some sort of blindness. And what this channel aims to do specifically is to educate people also on spiritual blindness. I think that there's a misconception on physical blindness, and people believe a lot of myths around blindness which are not true. So I am focusing more on other things, like making people aware of the things that we can and cannot do. Also, I talk about my experiences, everything from uh, religious, political, social things that have been happening around me, and I'm doing this all on my own. Sometimes I will use a computer, sometimes I will use an iPhone, an Android, or an iPod 5th generation. And so if you see that sometimes I am not facing the camera, or uh, any other technical problems, it's because I'm blind. And in a way, this is a new concept too for YouTubers, as I don't think anybody else is doing this. What I mean by that is um, perhaps other people have people to help them edit these videos and make sure that they are facing the camera, or everything is right, or people can see whatever they're reviewing or see whatever is being shown. I don't have that. So in a way, you guys are experiencing what I experience every day when I click on a YouTube video, regardless of what that may be, and have to hear people describing things with, if you look here, you'll see this red button, or if you click on this green button, or if you see this color right here, or if you press right here. I don't have an idea of what they're talking about. And I have to play around when I get, let's say, some of these things, for example, headphones or anything else that they might be reviewing, or I may have to search for other ways for me to understand the information that they're trying to provide to people like me, without them realizing that I am blind. I don't know if I'm making any sense here. But yeah, a lot of the people that are sighted forget that there's a wide community out there that are watching their YouTube videos or listening to them, and they might not all understand what they may be pointing at. And so it's really important for them to specify what they're doing, although it might seem ridiculous and redundant to them, because they may think, I don't need to explain to these people what I'm doing. Sometimes you do. As I said, you don't know who's watching you, you don't know who's paying attention to you, and so the words that you use are also just as important. So anyway, I know this always takes me about 3 to 4 minutes to explain, but anyway, that goes with making these types of videos. And even if you click off this video in the next minute or whatnot, my hope is that these type of videos will reach one person. And if I reach at least one person, if at least one person is helped with whatever I'm saying, with the things that I'm describing, and that person gets to benefit from this, I have done my job. And that's the most important thing. You're not always going to agree with me, nor I am going to agree with you on a lot of topics, which is fine. I think the most important thing here is to just make people aware. And number two is, when we disagree, is to do it in a way that we're not talking in a demeaning way to one another. We're not insulting one another. We're not putting down one another and using offensive language, as I have stated before, like libtards or retards or any of that language that, again, as I said before, you don't know who might be listening to you. And so, how do you know that that person that's listening to you is not going to get offended? And most people might say, well, it's their problem if they get offended. They're too sensitive. I think we need to recognize that we all have different personalities. And I'm sure that people in the United States would get offended, as they have, if somebody burnt their statues that are beloved to some U.S. citizens. People might get offended when, let's say, there's a shooting, if somebody starts laughing at that. Or, for example, the people that laughed when the Twin Towers came crashing down. That wasn't nice. People didn't appreciate that. And so just like people in the United States have not appreciated any of those things, neither do we, as people with disabilities, appreciate when you use terms to mock us, to make fun of us in any way, or you try and put us down. And that's exactly what I want to talk to you about today. The indifference that most people have without them knowing. So I'm going to continue this attitudinal barriers series. And again, I am not going to do this on a daily basis. For example, I'm not going to put these videos one after another. I might do this one and then focus on other things and then come back to this one. It all depends. So just to let you know ahead of time, so you guys don't get bored with the same thing. I remember once, about 2 years ago or a year ago, I was in Wisconsin and I had gone to a restaurant, and I had asked the server for a cheeseburger with bacon and no onion. And I asked for fries and a drink. And again, I'm a totally blind person. And I'm going to tell you why I repeat this a lot in a bit. So I thought I was facing in this case, it was a woman. I was facing her direction. And after I finished asking for the thing that I wanted, instead of addressing me, she asked the people that were sitting next to me, so does he want a burger with cheese, bacon, and onion? Totally ignoring me. And I didn't say anything, not to my friends, who I treat as if they were my siblings, and not to her, because I think that it's not worth making a fuss over something really small. But when it happens to you constantly, because this is not the first time, or this had not been the first time, it's happened to me countless of times, and it's not going to be the last time. But it's something that's really annoying when somebody treats you with indifference, that doesn't talk to you, and instead chooses to speak to another person. Another similar situation happened to me at the airport, and it happens to me quite frequently there too, where I am with someone. Let's say in this case it happens to be a driver most of the time. I take either a Lyft, and or sometimes somebody drives me, somebody that I know, but it's usually Lyft. So I don't know the driver, and they just take me to wherever I tell them I am going. Terminal 3, 2, and I just say park here, and if you could please let me know when there's a security guard or somebody who can help me out, please, and I'll be fine from there. So in this case, I remember that the driver did help me out, and there was nobody outside. This was in Houston. I might have told this story in another video, but it's worth repeating. So I was outside of the shuttle. In this case, it was a shuttle driver who drove me from my hotel to the airport, which was about a 5-minute ride, and there was nobody in sight to help me in. So I went in, and we asked one of the ladies at the counter. There was only one, and see if she could help us. She could call somebody to help me to where I needed to go, and we got there on time and whatnot. And just so you know, there were other people riding with me, and they had to go to other terminals. And so she couldn't stay with me for a long time. And so instead of asking me the questions, the lady behind the counter proceeded to ask the driver, where is he going? There's nobody to take him there. Are you related, or something like that? And she said no. And I stepped in when she said he should have somebody with him, or why doesn't he have somebody with him? A lot of people have asked that, regardless if I'm at an appointment with a doctor or wherever I am. Why don't I have somebody with me? And this time I decided to speak up and say that shouldn't matter if I have somebody with me or not. It might sound as entitlement, but your job, and I didn't say the following, but I said I thought this. I was thinking to myself, their job as airport workers is, if somebody asks for help, is to provide that help no matter what. I'm not demanding anything. I'm a customer. I paid for my ticket. I can't get from point A to point B on my own. This person did the job of getting me to the airport, and that's it. If I were to bring another person, it would be exactly the same thing. The people at the front desk would talk to the person whom I have, let's say, hired or just taken along to help me, and I would still be ignored. So who understands these people? If I'm alone, it's, why don't you have somebody with you? If I'm with somebody, they ask the questions to the other person as if I didn't exist. And then they complain why I get angry, or why do I have an angry look? Why don't I like talking to people? Why I'm annoyed all the time? I don't intend to be like that. However, when there are situations that I've had enough of, I just disconnect from people and take some time to cool off. So that's it for now. If you have enjoyed this video and would like more videos such as these, please make sure to subscribe. I have more videos. Don't forget to check them out. Leave a comment. Any suggestions that you may have as well, give a like. And I will talk to you on another video. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Take care.